Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction or read-through for Tower of God Chapter 609 or Season 3 Episode 192. I really pulled this chapter up and I was like, 609? Insanity. I say it constantly. It is nuts, given that I've been covering Tower of God since the 300-somethings? Maybe even the 200-somethings? It's so wild seeing the chapter number that high. But I'm excited this week. I think it's going to be another kind of week. Like I said a couple of weeks ago, I wasn't spoiled on anything that happens, but I have seen the scores for the chapters, and that's been a big thing for me, where I know that these scores have been a bit low. I haven't really been hating these chapters, but I know that in a couple of weeks, the scores are extremely high. People have been very excited about stuff, and that gets me very excited about stuff. Just from what's going on right now in the story, I have some ideas of what I think, things that I think could happen. I don't really want to say any of those things out loud because, like I said, I luckily haven't been spoiled, and I don't want people to just be like, oh yeah, your predictions are right. And it's like, well now you've spoiled me by telling me that I'm right. Or no, your predictions are wrong, which again just gives me more information to work with, which isn't great either. So yeah, I am excited though for the next few weeks whenever things are starting to really kick off. I'm so excited for that. Maybe, I don't know what the Haku intro is going to be like this week. I do want to talk about Tower of God for a little bit before we start reading. Just talk about the series. A lot of people from the past few weeks have just said that, yeah, the chapters are kind of mid, but we've been enjoying just the discussions and stuff. And I have too. The chapters, like I said, they have been kind of meh the past few weeks, but I haven't hated them. I haven't thought they were that big a deal. Something that I was talking about earlier on Discord with everyone was like, the worst week-to-week Tower of God chapters, I've also been covering One Piece week-to-week for like 7 or 8 years. The worst week-to-week Tower of God chapters do not touch the depths of the worst One Piece week-to-week chapters. Heck, they're probably better than the average week-to-week One Piece chapters. So they don't bother me that much, and something that I said is that even the low points of Tower of God, and Tower of God has low points, it's fair to say that, even the low points though are much better when you get to marathon them. There are some parts in other series that weren't that great. Again, I hate to just keep bringing up One Piece as an example, as if I'm just shitting on this one series, but One Piece, there are things where you read it week to week, it's a slog. You go back and marathon it, it's still a bit of a slog. And for Tower of God, I don't think there's anything like that. I think if you read something week to week and it's not the best on the week to week basis, it is so much better marathoning it. Like these past 4 or 5 chapters or so, say you're not a big fan of them, when you can go through and read all of them in like less than an hour, it's probably not going to seem nearly as bad or anything. Especially, so I guess one thing that I want to mention video-wise coming up this week, I forgot to link it last week, but Animosity did a video on the family head stuff that Naya made a prompt of. I think that's the only other person I've seen do a video on that, so I'm going to be leaving a link to that down in the comments in the description, so you can go watch his as well. And I said I was going to wait a few weeks to let other people make videos on that topic before I brought forward my own topic and did my own video and, invited other people to do videos on that topic. I'm going to do that this week, so sometime this week you're going to get another Tower of God discussion video, and hopefully other creators will do a discussion on that topic too. So I will be doing that later this week, so I wanted to let you all know I'm linking Animosity's video, wanted to let you all know that I'm making my own, so look forward to more Tower of God stuff later in the week. And I have so many ideas for Tower of God things that I want to work on. Like I said before, I really want to make a full, complete, comprehensive guide to all blog post information ever, which would probably be a multiple hour long video. I really want to do that at some point. I want to go through and take all of the characters from all of like my screen time notes, the character poll notes and everything, probably going to be like 500-600 characters, and just make an insanely huge tier list like template that people can use, so that you can use that for tier lists and everything. And maybe I'll do a stream where I make my own tier list using it. I really want to do a video where I've talked about this for years, and I think maybe in the next few weeks I'll finally get on it, where I rank all of the high rankers. I think that would be a really fun thing to do. And even ones like the blue holes that don't have ranks, again, I just try to guess, like, rank what I would rank them, where I think they should belong on the rankings. And because they have probably the most lore knowledge of any other Tower of God YouTubers, I might ask a couple, like I might ask Dr. Bonehead and Naya if they want to be a part of that if I do that. Just see if anybody else is interested, maybe, depending on how I decide to structure the video or even stream. Maybe stream so you all can argue with me and say, no, you're ranking them too low or too high. But I've been so excited for Tower of God lately. Like, despite the fact that these chapters, again, like I said, the past few chapters have had some low scores, despite that, I have been extremely excited. I think having that long discussion video on Naya's channel really like helped kickstart it. I think the biggest thing is seeing the high scores in the future that get me so excited what's going to happen. Getting into watching and it's been a couple months since each of these things, but getting into watching Amy Angel's live streams live each week, getting into and discovering Pyro Prima's videos and read-throughs, I think doing stuff like that and going back through old Tower of God, older Tower of God content through other people's videos or streams has kind of been reigniting some love and reminding me of things. And that's another thing. So I always look for things to listen to while I'm working on stuff, while I'm just working throughout the week. And I've been listening to the Amy Angel streams that I missed. And so I've just gone back through The Nest and The Walls, which are my least researched and least reread part of Tower of God. I've been, again, reading Tower of God since I was in, like, high school, like the beginning of high school, basically, back in, like, 2011 or something. So I have been reading Tower of God forever, since I was a little teenager, so I've been through it so many times. I've discussed a lot of this stuff so many times. I still remember being in school and like talking to my friends about workshop battle week to week and being like, oh, Bomb versus Beta is so cool week to week. I remember that stuff. And over the years, I've done a lot of review videos and videos that have taken research. I've watched a lot of reaction series that have taken me through like the season 2 stuff, the season 1 stuff a bunch of times, but I really haven't gone through the season 3 stuff that much. So like there's so many things that I'm realizing during the Cage and the Walls. And it's like, I think The Walls is probably Tower of God's most underrated arc. The Walls is short, and again, I'm counting The Walls as like everything with the Wall of Peaceful Coexistence and Wall and Sleeping Forget-Me-Not, because we jump back and forth. It is so good. I think The Walls is such a good arc. It's so underrated. I think Kanzone is an underrated character. I think Delete's an underrated character. I like Delete. Like, all of that is really good, and like, there's some things I'm forgetting. So I was completely wrong with my memory. My memory was really unreliable at how the Wall of Peaceful Coexistence stuff ended. I thought, so Cha woke up. Cha does that big punch attack. There's like the violetish, bluish Shinsu going around. And then I thought Yusracha, because Yusracha's already faced off with Yama, all the other canine people, Evankel, Karaka, Kelhelm's there, but Kelhelm is actually like, when he's confronted with Yusracha, he's like, what's going on? I can't see Destiny right now, and he's like freaked out by that. And that makes me think, why? Why can't he see Destiny? Because of Yusracha. It's not like Yusracha is an irregular. That's a weird one. But we know that there's I'm getting a little sidetracked here. We know that there's the 3 parts of the Fang, right? And so Yama had one, Yusracha had one, Doom had one. Yusracha and Doom could both do something that Wang Wang could do, which was pass their powers on to pass their powers on to others to make the canine people and the feline people. And it seems like Doom did that much more than Yusracha, so maybe that was a mainly Doom-focused thing. And we know that one of Wang Wang's powers was to not be controlled by anyone. The Fang that he was born with kept him from being controlled by anyone. It was like a special rules of the tower breaking power, which is why it's important for Yama to have it. So maybe that part of the 3 parts of the Fang was really strong in Yusracha, and maybe whatever quality that makes him unable to be controlled by Traumare is also what made it hard for Kelhelm to see Fate when he was around him. But the point being, I remembered Cha getting awoken from the wall and Yasracha being like, I'm out of here. Bye, I'm gone. But I totally misremembered, because that's not how it ends at all. The way it ends is Adori specifically sends Yasracha and Calavan to each of the walls and says, wake the hero up and either bring them to join the army or kill them. And so Yasracha is like, hey, that's the plan. I'm going to do that. But after Cha wakes up, an order comes from Adori telling Yasracha to go to the nest immediately. And Yasracha's like, hold on. The hero just woke up. I was brought out here to capture or kill him. I'm about to do that right now. But then they're like, no, immediately means immediately. So Yasracha leaves. So Yasracha, even when faced off with Evankel and Kelhelm and Yama and Doom and Paul, Karaka, all of these high rankers, and Cha himself, Yasracha was still going to be like, I'm still going to fight them. Yasracha, again, I have said that I think a lot of people underrate just how strong he was. Like, Yasracha was nutty strong. He didn't put up as much of a fight at all towards Traumerei as Dumas did, but he at least still did put up somewhat of a fight. And in addition to that, again, he was so much stronger than Yama, who beat Doom when he was top 200. He was somebody that he was like, you got to keep it under wraps that I'm injured, because if Lobadan knows I'm injured, that kind of takes some of our bargaining power away. So Yasracha was incredibly, extremely strong, and going through this stuff just made me think, Siu's kind of dropped the ball on the Hidden Grove a little bit. Like, the way that Cha and Doan were set up, I think that it's like, how strong are they? Shouldn't they be really, really strong? But I don't know quite how strong they are. But there's lots of things that I forgot. So I always bring up how Kel is like, oh yeah, the boss that I talked to wasn't the boss I usually talk to, but he told me that Bomb is an irregular. And so we got that stuff with Kel. I always bring up how Cha told Bomb about the 5 Flower Nations and the 5 Flower Nations in the Mechanical Nation, or 5 Flower Kingdoms in Mechanical Nation. And I had forgot that we actually know one of the 5 Flower Kingdoms' names. It's Dohwa, because Doan and her family were, she was born into a family of Knights of Dohwa, and the sort of Flower Nation was surrounded by Zahard's army because they were wiping out the 5 Flower Nations, and Zahard struck a deal with Dohwa. They were like, I won't exterminate all of your people, we won't genocide you if you seal the hero in the wall. And then all of Dohwa that wasn't exterminated lived in the wall, and so the people that were there for the wall with the sleeping forget-me-not, they were all the descendants of Dohwa. And I had remembered, that they were the descendants of Dohwa, that Doan was from one of the 5 Flower Kingdoms, but I had forgotten we had got the actual name of it. So we do know the name of the name and the fate of one of the 5 Flower Kingdoms, so it makes you think, were the other 4? Are there any remnants of those? Or were the other 4 completely genocided? What happened to the other Flower Nations? Also, I'm pretty sure they were like, oh yeah, most of the walls have been destroyed and they don't have their sealed heroes anymore one way or another. I guess they died over the years or something. But they were like, oh yeah, there's 3 walls left. And I'm like, 3? What? 3? We saw 2. And then I'm like, is that something that CU's never going to reference again or go back to again? Because so often stuff gets introduced and I'm like, CU is not going back to that again. But then so often things will be introduced and you think it's not that important, and then it ends up being connected to something, and sometimes very important, hundreds of chapters later. It's oh, the Hand of Arlen that's the best example. The Hand of Arlen's it's a cool place to have as a setting for the Devil of the Right Hand arc, which is a great arc, and it's it was a cool set piece and everything, and then it turns out that the context behind that is some of the most important stuff in the entire story, a good 100, 200 chapters later. So there's stuff like that where it's so is that third wall gonna come up again? And so I too, in my notes for the screen time, the character poll and stuff, I took note that, again, with the Hidden Grove, you had Doan, we were first introduced to Doan with Kun Hindluck and Taru York, and then we were introduced to Cha with Toro and then these two other members who I identified as like a scout or light bearer based on the stuff they had. Like one had lighthouses, one had observers. So I was like, okay, that fits then. Because we got a couple spear bearers, but that's one of every other position. But then there's another shot when it's like right before Dawan's sealed, where all the members are together in a circle, and you see this guy with like, he kind of looks like Bongso from The Cage, but he has this like diamond-shaped shirt, like this shirt that ends in diamond shapes on. And then at the beginning of the nest, I always assumed, I was like, oh, the ones they captured was probably Taro York and the other two, and I'm like, so they got freed at the beginning of the nest, and they just vanished from the story. What happened to these guys? But actually, when the stuff is conveyed to Dawan, I think by Liboric is when it happens, he's like, oh yeah, pretty much everybody from the Hidden Grove died, but there are two that were captured still alive, and we see Taro York, and it's the guy with the diamond-shaped shirt. It's not one of the ones that are introduced with Cha, so I guess both of those are dead. Maybe they're in that third wall that that was destroyed or not destroyed. But that guy that we don't even know the name of is alive, and Taro York. And the reason I bring that up is because we just got the Rack stuff, and Taro York looks a lot like Rack. So is there any chance that I mentioned the characters that went to the Snow Forest are probably... If you think about characters and how likely they are to intervene in this war to come help Bomb's group, the Snow Forest people probably have a really high percentage of anybody to show up to help Bomb's group or whatever. So some of those characters will probably show up. What are the odds that we get into Taro York stuff at some point eventually, because he looks like Rack, and maybe he can explain some stuff about Rack and the ancients or native ones or whatever you want to call them. In addition to that, Taro York, it makes me think, so one thing I thought, I was like, when I was going through the cage, because during the cage, one of the reasons Kelhelm states that he is doing the stuff that he's doing, he's like, I just want my old friends to rest in peace. And then I was like, so Cha and Dawan just woke up and didn't even go see this guy. He's like, I just want my old friends to sleep, and they just don't care. Poor Kelhelm, just catching L's everywhere. But no. Actually, there is a scene where Cha does go to see Kelhelm and talk to him about things that have gone on and ask him to take part in the nest stuff and he's like, you know, it's a shame that you don't want to help us because you would be really helpful for the infiltration of the nest and everything. So Cha actually does go to see Kelhelm. I was wrong about that. And there was at least one more thing that I had forgotten or that I thought was important, but now that I've gone off on all these tangents, I don't really remember it so much anymore, and I've been talking for almost 20 minutes already, so I kind of want to get to the actual chapter for you all. Yeah, there was one more thing, now I'm forgetting it, and it's going to really, really bug me. But since I can't remember it, let's just go ahead and read this week's chapter. We got chapter 609, season 3, 192. We got a violence warning, but who knows what that even means. Starting off with Kun and Dumas. Kun stops himself with the lighthouses. Dumas goes forward. It's Dumas. We have Tump and Ju. Shit. Out of everyone in Pobedal's army, he's the last person I was hoping to run into. Alright, we have him just striding forward. Is he chasing after that irregular? Or that regular, sorry. There's no... I made the simple mistake. There's no guarantee that Dumas will actually protect me. But this is my only option right now. I mean, it is a good idea, to be fair. Like, Dumas should want to protect Kun. What's he thinking coming at us like that? And she uses the squirt gun. But Dumas is about to grab onto it with his talons. Huh? Dumas? Okay. And he tears it in half. You okay, Ju? That scared the crap out of me. I thought I was gonna. So we've actually seen her use her fish and that gun before and stuff, but I don't think we've seen Tump do a thing. I don't understand. Why the hell is Dumas defending that regular? Also, one thing I forgot, in a recent thing, this is like not back in the walls, this is a more recent thing, the ancient weapon that Yama just recently destroyed. So when Gastong and Bellarir show up to where the branch leaders are, and Bellarir's like, no, let's not kill them. I got a plan to use them for something. when we had that scene, that big ancient weapon was there. I thought they were just hit by the attack that came like the Shipwan Ryu attack. But no, that ancient weapon was actually there during that scene. So we had actually seen it before the sprout, but I didn't even remember it. Slay the chess pieces part 4. Dumas, why in the world are you a commander in why are you a commander in Popodal's army, protecting that regular? Wait, hear us out. We don't want to fight you anymore. We sprint. Pardon me. That regular has some nerve. Yeah, they don't want to fight, but if Goon just keeps bum rushing them, then, like, they have no choice but to respond, which leaves Dumas with no choice but to respond. Dumas comes in to guard. There Dumas goes again. What the heck is wrong with him? Giant koi. It's true what they say. She summons it. You really are the most stubborn man in the entire Popodal family. Is that a koi fish? It's huge. He glances back. Did it just hyper beam? But he's standing there unaffected. We see maybe some kind of armor inventory. Damn it. The rumors are true. He's an absolute beast. Oh, and he brings out Rosario. And it looks like the spears are coming in towards her. Oh, is this going to be the elephant? We finally see it. Look at this guy. Oh, what is this design? I love his face. Okay. Miniature pygmy elephant. Okay. He's whipping and whapping. He's zipping and zinging. And then Tump himself joins him. What's this now? An elephant that uses martial arts. His face. I love him. Toot. We have the return of the toot sound effect. There's no need to be afraid of Dumas. I've got your back. Go ahead and fight him as much as you like. All right. Damn. And then she's charging up another hyper beam as the elephant rushes in. And they fire. But it looks like the same type of armor protecting Dumas again. The elephant's coming in close. Slams down right in front of him. And is charging and rushing. Going for the melee combo. Oh, and he cracks through some part of Dumas's armory. Oh, actually, it seems like he's getting into the armor itself because we see some exposed abdomen. Toot! Cracks open. And then we have the Shinsu from above from Ju. It's actually cool getting to see Ju and Tump do some stuff. I was scared they might just get absolutely one shot. The water pressure's so powerful, I doubt even Dumas' spear can withstand it. More attacks from the koi fish. And he's creaking from above. And then the ultra serious elephant. Wabam! Sound effect. Nails him. And his core shatters more. Okay, so again, they are actually putting in some work. And then we have a weapon from Tump himself. That looks like an elephant ear. Like the plant. And it seems like it charges, like it sucks in energy, and then he releases it as a slash. Nice. Not even Dumas can beat the two of us together when he's missing both arms. Come on, let's kill him. And she's firing her, like, observer fish as well. We have the pink Shinsu flowing out. What the? Erupting more and more. I'm just excited. I want to see real Dumas. Just like I want to see real Karaka, but we might have to wait longer for that. Okay. And we just have pure energy here. Toot? Sorry. Oh, and he grabs onto him with his talons and rips his trunk off. Oh my god, violence warning. Cruelty to animals. Toot! He and Tiara are related. Cruelty to animals. I mean, I guess, you know, Pobedal versus Lophobia. It's gonna be cruelty to animals. Toot! And he gets grabbed by the throat. Jeez! Completely killed. Jumbo! He had a name? Rip Jumbo. 07's in the comments. And then he goes up above the koi. Dumas is just an absolute beast. And he fires down from above. And the entrails and everything, he is cruelty to animals. Wham. And I wonder if those are two of the 23 great beasts, given that they are branch leaders. We have Kun blocking just the aftermath using his lighthouse shield. I don't believe it. How can this be? He just overpowered two branch leaders together like it was nothing. An absolute monstrosity. Dumas is legitimately so cool. I wonder how he would fare. Like I said, oh man, 650's coming up too fast almost. But I said around 650 I would do another character poll. I wonder, like, what some of these new characters like Dumas, like, how do they fare? In a new character poll. Once that weren't here for the original at 550. How's that even possible? Inside the Sprout, Traumaray. Okay, this is cool. We get to see Traumaray's point of view. Slay the chess pieces, huh? What an unusual game. Doesn't exactly seem like the game was designed to give Gaston an advantage in our chess match. If anything, I appear to have the upper hand. All the people representing my chess pieces are branch leaders from my own family, whereas some of Gaston's chess pieces are mere regulars. Plus, I can fight in order to steal Gaston's chess pieces indirectly. Gaston may be allowed to take part in the game, but I have branch leaders from my own family under my command, so he's clearly at a disadvantage compared to me. I wonder what their real reason for playing this game is. Either way, and now we have the piece. Right now, I first need to find and protect whoever's playing as my king, and I'd better take out that person down there following me. Lord Traumaray. Lord Traumaray, are you there, sir? Oh, Holland? Lord Traumaray, I regret that we meet again under such circumstances. It's me, sir, Holland. Okay. Holland, for a character who, like, he's had a good amount of different outfits and, like, slight tweaks to his design, despite not always doing the most. Oh, Holland, what chess piece do you have? I'm terribly sorry, my lord, but I have the king. Okay. That is neat. That I didn't expect it. Okay, this is cool. So, I mean, let's face it. This game is something we're just kind of getting through. I don't think any of us really expect this game to be game-changing, so to speak, as far as the conflict goes between Traumaray and Gaston. I don't think that any of us were like, oh, somebody's gonna lose the king and therefore forfeit, and we're not actually gonna see them fight each other or have a chess match or whatever. Like, I don't think there's anybody who thought that. So it's not like it's not like the king was really gonna be getting taken down. But, so that means the king probably, again, this is confirmation that's like, okay, that Holland's probably not getting taken down because he's with Traumaray. But at the same time, not like I ever expected the king to be taken down. It's going to be neat to see them interact, though, because when you think about it, have we seen Traumaray talk to his children? like more than just a couple lines here and there? Does he have a, like, that's the whole part of Kirin's daddy issues, is that they don't have a good relationship with Traumerei, and Kirin probably has the best relationship with Traumerei, and he's the one saying this. So it's like the others probably have an even worse relationship. And of course we don't know if like Holen is his direct child, but he might be. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting seeing Traumerei actually interacting with one of the members of his family. I thought this chapter was good. I don't know. I don't get the complaints. I had fun with this one. Again, we just focused on the fight. We had Tump and Ju do stuff, and they were more impressive than I expected them to be, which is good. They didn't just get completely one-shot embarrassed. We got to see Dumas being extremely cool, which is always good, because he has just been pretty consistently extremely cool. Like, I feel like he first showed up and so many people didn't really expect him to be all that, and then he turned out to actually, we were not familiar with your game, he turned out to actually be all that. So that was really cool. And then we end at what I think is a very fun place with Holen and Traumerei. Yeah, I really liked this one. I thought this was fun. Again, in the grand scheme of things, could we have done this conflict better than the Slay the Chess Pieces game? I think so. I think if we just had it as a straight up war, even though we just did that in the nest, maybe that's better. I don't know. The game has been not like the greatest part of Tower of God. I don't think that's crazy to say. And it's been something that we're just trying to get through. But I think it's been fun. I don't know. I just really have not had a problem with it yet. I have had fun. And like I said, I've had fun with this, and this got low scores. So if I'm having fun with this, I can't even imagine what the high score parts are going to be like. So I'm super excited. Just a couple more weeks wait, and then I get, you know, again, if it's been this long, probably multiple really good, really cool things. I'm just so excited for Tower of God as a whole. I hope you enjoyed the discussion at the beginning. Again, I talked about a lot of things that I've thought about over the week, that I've, discovered or rediscovered or been reminded of. I have a bunch of videos that I mentioned will be coming in the future. So yeah, with all that aside, thank you for watching. Like if you did like the video, comment down there too. Sorry, I mentioned it in another video, but whenever I record, especially after eating, I very often, I guess it's just from talking nonstop. Because like when you're having a conversation with somebody, you're not talking nonstop. You're having plenty of breaks, plenty of pauses. But when I'm recording, I am just nonstop Mayor of Yapsville talking. It gives me these weird hiccups every once in a while, so sorry about that. Like, comment, subscribe, follow on Twitter if you want. We can talk there. If you'd like to talk to me and everybody else on the Discord server about Tower of God or anything else, it is free and open for anyone. Just ask and you can get a link. If you want to help support the channel to help me to continue to make videos, drop a super thanks down below if you would like to. Or if you want to not just help me keep making videos by supporting, but also get One Piece videos a little early. If you want to get a shout out at the end of every single video, hit join down below to become a member. Go to patreon.com/Haku of the Tubes, or a link will be in the description to become a patron. It really is appreciated. Thank you so much, as always, to people who are already patrons and members. Thank you to Chosen Regular Evan Holly, to Magical Girls, FR Nono, and Abyss Knight, to Cherryton students, David Langstaff and Folded Ghoul, to Slayer Candidates SG and Stan Cedar, to Pure Element Pate Ariel, and to well, we don't have any irregulars. I don't know where I was going with that. Thank you all. So I just got really into it. Thank you so much for watching. That's one of the things. You're always gonna, I don't pre-record it and then put the same pre-recording at the end of every video. I record thanking everybody at the end of every single recording. So you're always gonna get a unique one at that. And what is that on screen? Oh, that's actually on my monitor. There's a piece of dust on my monitor. I thought there was something you could see on screen. I was like, what is that? But yeah, you're always going to get a unique one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.